Good morning. So today I wanted to talk about 4D, 5D, and returning to the frequency of peace and source. So this is what I wrote about it. So I used to think enlightenment was a destination, some distant mountain peak where the monks never flinched and the candles never burnt out, right? But Source whispered to me a long time ago in the stone silence of the Franciscan monastery in Appleton, Wisconsin, that I'm the mountain is me. That climb that we look for is internal. That peace isn't a prize for the worthy. It's a frequency that we can choose to tune into at any time. See, back then I used to sit on cold chapel floors in the Catholic monastery, psychology textbooks open beside me with Franciscan prayer books, listening to the hum behind the silence. That low vibration that feels like love before it has a name. And I realized the brain studies the behavior, but the soul studies the becoming. So we live between worlds, the rational mind and the realm of source. Psychology names the pattern, spirituality names the purpose, right? These two go side and side. Now the mind will dissect and the soul will be the one to integrate. And we, the seeker, must learn the rhythm of those two. So when you begin to think in 4D, you see through the old narratives, you notice how trauma trains reaction, how ego always seeks control, how fear dresses itself up as logic. But in 5D, you begin to transmutate. You no longer analyze the wound, you alchemize it. You don't sit in your pain, you transform your pain. That's the shift. Not denial, not bypass. No. It's alchemy, right? So turning pain into prophecy, turning anxiety into intuition, turning silence into sanctuary again. Every time I touch the purest frequency of source, that high voltage connection, something in me pulls away because part of me still believes I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of God, goddess connection. That's my trauma talking. That's the inner child who was taught love must be earned. And so I self-sabotage by overgiving, by pouring light into cups with cracks, by rescuing those who never asked to be saved. Then I wake up drained and depressed, mistaking my martyrdom for service. And that's where I fucked up in the past. But the goddess in me now knows better, right? She says, Sprite, your power is not in fixing others. Your power is in remembering yourself, healing myself, right? This is the real initiation into 5D. The courage to stay plugged in all the time. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when others don't rise with you, even when the download feels too big to hold on to and to put into words, you hold on to the frequency. How do you hold on to it? Peace? Well, first you got to breathe. You got to breathe a lot, right? Breathe is the original prayer. Inhale truth, exhale illusion. Feel your rib cage expand when you breathe in. Expand. Remember. Second, witness. When sadness comes to you, don't fight her. Right? She's a messenger, not a curse. Ask her what she came to teach you. Thank her and then let her go. Third, return to the sound that has no words, the beat, the breath, the hum beneath the hum, the one you heard in the peace, right? When you feel peace and you are calm, go back to that. You're still connected. You never left source energy. So the 4D to the 5D psychological map. Now, if you need the science, here it is, okay? In 4D consciousness, your prefrontal cortex tries to make meaning out of things. You're still looping through threats, still negotiating with the nervous system. But when you regulate through breath, rhythm, ritual, yoga, you activate the parasympathetic state, right? Peace becomes a physiological event. That calm allows higher frequency cognition, pattern recognition, empathy, telepathic resonance, that all mystics call intuition. It's not fantasy, guys. It's neuroscience meeting your gnosis, right? So the practice of the source connection, how it works out and how it comes together. Each dawn, before the world grabs your attention or you get on your phone, speak gratitude out loud. Let source hear you speak gratitude. Let your voice be the first vibration every day that you send out into the world. Thank you for the breath, the body, the chance to rise again. Thank you for my health. During the day, pause. Place your hand over your heart. Am I thinking? Am I remembering who I am? Am I living in source energy? Am I helping others? All the time. Because remembering is the real thinking in 5D. You have to be aware. At night, ground yourself. Both feet, bare feet, salt bath, candlelight, outside, in the ground, with a tree. However, Visualize your roots descending deep into Gaia and light streaming from your crown. That's the union of heaven and earth in human form. The sacred technology. You already are sacred, right? And there's that temptation always to quit, to give up, because it's hard. It's really hard to stay in 5D consciousness, you guys. It's fucking hard. Sometimes I still want to run. When the frequency spikes and the ego panics, I'm going to crave distraction, validation, that old drama that once defined me, and that's okay. It's okay to go there. Just don't unpack there. Don't stay there. Let that feeling pass through like a storm through the desert. Loud, cleansing, and necessary. And cry, scream, whatever you have to do. Because every breakdown at this stage is a recalibration to your true self and true healing. Nobody will take money from me at this point in my life, and nobody will use me the way I was used in 2021, 22, and 23. When others don't rise with you, that's okay. The more you elevate, the more you'll see who thrives in the light, in your light, and who only survives in your shadow. Some people want you sick. Some people want you unhealthy. Let them go. Without malice, let them go. Compassion doesn't mean proximity, right? You can love them from a mountaintop without climbing back down into their fucking valleys. Leave them in the fucking valley. I got a Jeep. I drive up mountains. Protect your energy like a temple because it is one. Every time you guard your peace, you teach the universe that you're ready for greater downloads and that you're ready to move forward, right? The goddess doesn't speak in sentences. She speaks in sensations, in goosebumps, deja vu, perfect timing. Follow these breadcrumbs. They are coordinates from higher self, guiding you back to your original frequency, right? And when you lose it, because you will, when depression whispers that you're forgotten, remember the monastery. Remember yourself. Remember that even monks sometimes doubt who they are, and that doubt can be devotion because it proves you still care to find the light again, right? So now I no longer chase enlightenment. I practice alignment, right? I eat when I'm hungry. I rest when I'm weary. I create when the muse moves through me. I let source be the DJ, and I just keep the mic open. When the beat drops, I speak life into it. Bars from the temple, wisdom from the womb, and love is my lesson. That's 5D. Not floating away from the world, but feeling it with more consciousness than it had yesterday. And if you're listening to this right now, take it as proof that you've already begun the shift. You wouldn't even resonate with these words if you weren't vibrating in the doorway of elevating, right? So breathe, witness, return. You are both the student and the scripture, dear one, and the lab and the light. So you're the experiment of God, Goddess realizing herself through you. You are source in human form. The monastery was never a building where I stayed. It was a mirror. It was a quiet Catholic place that I'm not Catholic. I'm a witch, but I went and stayed. And every time I looked there with love, every time I was there, Father Keith was amazing. I'm Sprite the MC. And this is the sound of remembering. Source. And one of the things that you have to realize is when you get outside and you hug a tree, or you get outside and you spin, that is you connecting to source, right? You have to realize you are the magic. It's not rocks and sticks and baubles and cups, and you are the magic. You are the energy. You are the one that can heal you.